Hello, my people, and welcome back. So, I was going over a couple of my older videos, excuse me, and one of the ones that caught my eye was the moonstone, and I wanted to redo it because I don't like the way that it is anymore. So, that's what this is. It is the new moonstone tutorial. And I know that not everyone has Faber-Castell polychromos or Prismacolors or whatever. So I thought that I would do like a little color swatchy thing up here to show you what I actually have as far as colors. That way, if you want to pause the video and, go find color matches or whatever, you can do that, and it's not nearly as hard to find it, because sometimes when I'm coloring and I just tell you the color, I find that some people have a hard time and they're like, well, what's good for that color in Marco or Fiends or something? And I'm like, I don't know. So, yeah. I have, starting over here, cream, and then light green, and cobalt green, and light ultramarine. This one is cold gray number 2. This is warm gray. Yeah, warm gray number 5. And I have black as well for the edging. But there you go. Those are the colors that I'm using right now. One of the things you gotta understand is that when you're coloring with these, and when I do this, I use a very, very light hand. Like, I prefer to use almost no pressure and just lots and lots of layers. With this, I'm not even using a whole bunch of layers, per se. It's just that I was looking at a bunch of moonstones, and it kind of is one of those stones that it's an opaque stone, but it kind of looks like it has translucence to it because of the layers of the actual stone. So, what I'm starting to do is I'm going to go down here, and this is not your, highlight and reflected light, but it kind of is like that because you're going through the translucent stone at the very top, like just like the first couple of layers, because the rest of the stone is actually not translucent. So, instead of having like an actual like circled out, this is the reflected light, I'm going to go around the edge of it with my cream, and just down here, and kind of make, I don't know what would be like a crescent moon type shape. I don't know. Yeah, like sort of a crescent moon shape. I don't know how well you can even see that. I hope you can see that okay. And that's the other thing, is moonstone is so light that it's sometimes kind of hard to see all of the differences when you're coloring it, but the overall effect of it ends up being pretty good. I'll also be using my little blender stump thingy dipped in odorless mineral spirits to help soften things and blend them out. So, okay, that was cream. This is the light ultramarine. And the ultramarine's gonna go and just around this side of it. And I'm not being super careful because I know that my mineral spirits will kind of just dissolve it out and blend it out, but go a little bit slower and a little bit more careful, and blend your pencils a little bit better than I'm doing if you're not using those. You can still probably be decently messy with your coloring if you're using a blending pencil. I think that would work alright. I'm just wanting to get down a little bit of a base of color. I'm going to use the light green and get in some lights up here, kind of blending that from the cream to the blue. I want a little bit of the green in there. And the same with the cobalt green. But this one, as you can see, is like really, really green. And I only want like little bits of it. So I just want different places because I keep seeing that in like different pictures of moonstone that I look at. It's just that there's little bits of color and such that come through the moonstone. So, alright, and then taking my warm gray, which is this one, so it's like a darker gray. And I'm gonna go around my edge. And kind of fade it, use light pressure, and then go to slightly more pressure right at the edge. And don't worry, this is just the first coat, you know. Then you blend the whole mess of it together, and you put your final touches on after that. So, we're still putting the highlight across from our light, because the light's hitting over here on our moonstone. But it's like coming from like way over there and like close to the horizon. Not like up like a lamp would be, you know? And maybe you do know, maybe you don't know. I don't know. Maybe you sit and study and stare at things like I do. Maybe you don't. I find lots of pictures and I look at physical objects and study how light reflects and hits things and how it moves and how it shadows things. And why? Because it fascinates me. Or because I'm crazy. Either one is cool with me. So, I've got my light gray to just kind of go in and blend that a bit. But, alright. Grab my little blending stumpy thing. I got it really wet so that it just basically obliviates everything. Like a Harry Potter, you know, spell. Obliviate! And just like blends everything together really nicely. So that it has just that base, very smooth color. And then I want to go in and I want to make this a little bit more defined where the cream is, where the light is. And we're going to go in here and make all of this go darker again. One of the things that I noticed is once I've used the blending spirits or the mineral spirits or whatnot, the second coat doesn't seem to need almost to be blended because it's very smooth now. And so it just goes on really, really great. Like the feeling of it. Now, you may not want to use gray as much as I am here, but, you know, you could use, like, the regular ultramarine instead of the light ultramarine. Give yourself a little bit more color in it. You could, I guess you could use just black and white if you wanted to make some variations in the shadow and such. I'm just going around making that shadow around the edge. And then, let's see, I'm going to use my light ultramarine. Because I want this to have color over here, but not too much. Remember, I know I push, but I'm squeezing the pencil. I'm not pushing hard. And then just going back in and doing, you know, just little layers of color here and there. I don't know how much green I actually want on this. That light green almost seems too much. I'm not sure. See, and that's just like really pigmented. I don't know how much I like that either, but that's alright. When you're doing this, like going in like little circles, like I do ovals like that, not just like up and downs because then you leave edges, but like little ovals help me to blend these pencils a little bit better. This is my light gray, or cold gray, yeah, cold gray number 2, which is basically just a light gray for blending. You could use a white if you wanted to as well. I just like the cold gray on this one, so because it kind of helps to chill out some of these colors and give more of that weird feeling of moonstone. And then I kind of like how that looks. Right, with moonstone, it does have those little like imperfections in it. I mean, they don't really have a pattern or anything, but they're generally pretty linear. Just, you know, line-esque. I think opal's one of the, or not opal, although this, I guess, could almost pass as an opal. Moonstone is one of those that is formed, I think, close to shale, which is like a sedimentary rock, so it has lots of layers in it. So I think part of what you're seeing is the rock layers. But this is all speculation. I haven't done enough research to say for sure. That's basically it. I gotta put my highlight on. But working a shadow around it, especially a dark shadow, makes lighter gems pop out better. And so I almost always like to put a pretty good shadow around them to help build depth around them, which pushes the stone or the gem forward a little bit. There we go. I'm going to take my light gray and just kind of go around here and see if I can blend some of that out just by using pencils. Sorry if I'm quiet, I don't mean to be. Alright. So if you follow and subscribe on my channel, awesome, thank you so much. And If you don't, you should. And if you have not gone over and seen my thank you to the 2,000 viewers yet, definitely go check that out, because there is a coupon code linked with that for kind of a steal of a deal. So make sure you go check that out. And then like and subscribe and share. And for those of you who do not know, and I didn't realize this until lately, I do have a Patreon. I didn't know that some of my YouTube people didn't know that yet. But I do have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/Vitruvian Art. And you can find me over there. And I try and do really fun stuff. And that is just not white enough for me. So I think this needed to be more over here. Yeah, that's a little bit better, I think. Anyway, that's my moonstone. I think if I could go back and do it again, I would put a little bit less green in here and maybe some more blue. But each one's different. They come out different every single time I do them. No one is exactly the same, which is kind of a beautiful thing about art and coloring in general. So I hope you like it. Like, subscribe, share, throw it around. And if you do want to hang out on Patreon, you know where to find me. And I will leave that link in the description for you, as well as all my other stuff, and where you can find me on Facebook and talk to me and listen to my craziness more. So, talk to you later. Bye.